English is very important. Many people around the world speak English. If you can speak English well, you can talk to many people, make new friends, get a good job, and travel to different countries. So, how can you improve your English speaking? First, you need to practice every day. Practice is very important. When you practice, you get better. You can practice with your friends, family, teacher, or alone. Here we have a wonderful story to practice with to improve your English speaking. Read, listen, and be fluent in English. Once upon a time, in a small town nestled between rolling hills and lush green forests, lived a young woman named Clara. Clara loved reading books about faraway lands, but she had never left her little town. Her curiosity about the world beyond the hills grew stronger every day. One crisp autumn morning, Clara decided it was time to explore the world. She packed her bag with essentials, a notebook, a pen, a map, and a few sandwiches her mother had made. Before she left, her father handed her a small compass. "This will guide you when you lose your way," he said with a warm smile. Clara waved goodbye to her family and set off on her journey. She followed a narrow dirt path that led out of the town and into the unknown. The path meandered through fields of golden wheat and orchards heavy with ripe apples. As she walked, she sang softly to herself, feeling a mix of excitement and nervousness. After a few hours, Clara reached a dense forest. The towering trees formed a canopy overhead, filtering the sunlight into soft beams. The forest was alive with the chirping of birds and the rustling of leaves. Clara's heart raced, but she reminded herself of the compass in her bag. As she ventured deeper, she heard a faint cry. Following the sound, she discovered a small fox caught in a trap. The animal's golden eyes looked up at her, pleading for help. Clara hesitated but then decided to free the fox. Carefully, she pried open the trap, and the fox darted away. Before disappearing into the woods, it turned back and looked at her, almost as if to say thank you. Feeling a sense of accomplishment, Clara continued her journey. She emerged from the forest just as the sun began to set. In the distance, she saw a quaint village with smoke rising from chimneys. Her stomach growled, and she realized she hadn't eaten since morning. Clara entered the village and found an inn. The innkeeper, a cheerful woman named Margaret, greeted her warmly. "You must be tired, dear. Come in and have some supper," Margaret said. Clara gratefully accepted and enjoyed a hearty meal of stew, bread, and freshly churned butter. As she ate, she overheard other travelers sharing stories about their adventures. The next morning, Clara thanked Margaret and set off again. She decided to head toward the majestic mountain the man had described. Along the way, she met a merchant named Elias, who was traveling with a cart full of colorful fabrics and trinkets. "Where are you headed?" Elias asked. "To the mountain with the hidden cave," Clara replied. Elias chuckled. "Ah, the Crystal Mountain. It's a challenging journey, but worth it. Here, take this scarf. It will protect you from the cold winds up there." Clara thanked Elias and continued her journey. The path became steeper and more rugged as she approached the mountain. The air grew colder, and she wrapped the scarf tightly around her neck. Snow began to fall, blanketing the landscape in white. As Clara climbed higher, she encountered a group of mountain goats. They seemed unbothered by her presence and continued grazing on patches of grass peeking through the snow. One goat, with a bell around its neck, followed Clara for a while, providing her with a sense of companionship. Finally, after hours of climbing, Clara reached the entrance of the hidden cave. The opening was surrounded by icicles that sparkled like diamonds in the sunlight. She took a deep breath and stepped inside. The cave was breathtaking. Crystals of all shapes and sizes covered the walls, reflecting light in a dazzling display of colors. Clara felt as if she had entered a magical world. As she explored the cave, she heard a soft voice. "Who dares enter my sanctuary?" Startled, Clara turned to see an elderly woman dressed in flowing robes, her hair shimmering like silver. "I'm Clara," she said, her voice trembling slightly. "I'm a traveler, exploring the wonders of the world." The woman smiled. "You have a kind heart, Clara. I saw how you helped the fox in the forest. Few have such compassion." Clara was surprised. "How did you know?" she asked. "This mountain holds many secrets," the woman replied, "as a reward for your kindness." Vocabulary and sentence practice. Vocabulary words. Nestled, settled snugly or comfortably. Meandered, followed a winding course. Canopy, a covering, often formed by the tops of trees. Quaint, attractively unusual or old-fashioned. Dazzling, extremely bright or impressive. Sanctuary, a place of refuge or safety. Compassion, sympathetic concern for others. Sentence practice. The small village was nestled between two towering mountains. The river meandered through the valley, creating a beautiful scene. The trees formed a natural canopy, providing shade on hot days. She stayed in a quaint cottage with a thatched roof. The fireworks display was truly dazzling. The forest is a sanctuary for many endangered animals. His compassion for others made him a beloved leader. Speaking practice questions. Have you ever helped an animal or person in need? What happened? If you could visit any place in the world, where would you go and why? What do you think makes someone a good traveler? Describe a time when you felt curious about something. How did you satisfy your curiosity?